Welcome everyone for another match of the Fangbooth 6. Here is the second match of the second semi-final between Indecisive against Imports Backpack. And there was like a very interesting team comp on the side of Indecisive. It's kind of like what I call a no-frontline team comp, because the only guy that usually is in the frontline is Grux on the Morose, but Grux by himself is not really like a true frontline. And so this type of team composition with like 5 kind of heavy damage dealer can make like the game very chaotic, and they kind of want to avoid doing like the traditional 5v5 team fight, and that's what like Team Indecisive is trying to do in that game. So let's just enjoy. So second semi-final of the Fangbooth 6, and here it's the second game between Imports Backpack against Indecisive. Imports Backpack composed of Nose, Import, Wangle, Zane and Julie Latina. While on the side of Indecisive we do have Kabodani, Manchu, TSC, Nyzah and Morose. And for this match, we're gonna focus on the really special pick by Nyzah, which is going to be a Countess jungle, which is not something that we see a lot in EU, at least. And we have kind of like a very squishy type of team composition on the side of Indecisive. As we can see, we have like Bellica Res, Gadget, Countess, Grux. A lot of magical damage, like a lot of potential to one-shot target, but in team fights, you can't really create space, so it's more like a team that I guess will try to create chaos, create like some 1v1 scenarios, but they don't want to do straight like 5v5 team fight. The enemy team is like a much more normal type of team comp with the Rictor, Sevrog, Chimera as the frontliner, the Drongo or Witzer in the backline to dish out damage. And here we can see that Nyzah is looking to start at the blue buff. And I'm a bit curious like how you play that, because like early gank from a Countess are pretty weak. You can maybe get like some gank on the Sevrog, I guess, because it can be set up by the Grux, but it's still like probably like not a lot going on. Maybe some gank on the dual lane though against like a Rictor Drongo. You have a Bellica Res that can set up like a lot of damage, so that could be something that can actually like work in your favor. And also, since you're starting blue, you're kind of mimicking what the enemy jungler can be doing on the map, because you're playing in the same half of the map, and so that creates like some very different dynamics compared to what we usually see while both jungler are starting both on the red buff. So for now, we're just like going like for the little clearing of the camps. We get the Blade Siphon to get like a more healthy like type of actual clear. A little bit like the dual lane, we get like a little bit of action, and actually like Zane forced to flash immediately, Kabodani flashing after him. We're gonna get like some auto attack, one more auto attack, and they get the first blood immediately. Here trying to trade back, here Manchu getting the aggression with the Void Bomb. Julie Latina has to be careful because the Seismic Assault was coming back. And so here, if the Seismic Assault was connecting, Julie Latina was probably dead, and that would have been a double kill, but here Team Indecisive already like finding the first blood of that match by the aggression of the Bellica Res lane. While Nyzah keep his jungler is clear of the jungle, Import is being seen. I don't think we can like, I wonder how the dynamic is, but I feel like here the Chimera should be like winning quite convincingly against like a Countess. But here we do get Manchu rotating, we get the Seismic Assault. Zane arriving though, so Nyzah, ooh, we dodged the hook. If the hook wasn't dodged, that would have been a... And we get the flash. Ooh, we're surviving, 1 HP. And Nyzah ended up dying in the end, but at what cost? Like, because he survived for so long, we got the flash in by Manchu to just like suicide himself, I guess. But now we got TSC trying to get the security gate. We get like another kill. Like, that's a bloodbath here. And Kabodani trying to come, but 1 HP. Wangle's like flashing in and gonna get the kill in the end. So like this exchange wasn't really like so good. Like Indecisive like really forcing it for so long. And yeah, it was chaos toasty. And to be fair, like I don't even understand why Nyzah like just like face checked the Chimera like that. He's a Countess level 3. There is nothing to be fine. Like his dual lane is very low. Zane is going to come back into that fight. Like if Zane like connect the hook on Countess, like this fight is not even close. Like there is nothing afterwards, and they just get absolutely obliterated. So I don't really know what was going on here, but it was definitely like not the good decision in my opinion from the side of Indecisive, but in the end they still managed to salvage something because a little bit too much like spell being missed on the side of Import's backpack. But so here we're around for the second river buff respawn. And we're gonna secure the grey buff for himself. Unfortunately for Nyzah, he died pretty early in that fight, because if he managed to survive like longer, then like these like skirmishes with like 4 kills, actually like is very good, because then you start like stacking your passive blood thieves very early. But since he died super early, he only get 1 stack and not the 4 stack, so it's not even good in that regard. So here we're going to go for 3 camp. Blue buff should be respawning pretty soon, because it's on a 4 minute and 10 seconds cooldown. They do find like a pick back onto man Q into the duo lane. As you can see here, we got the blue buff back. And we're gonna go for the reset. We started with a blood tome, so I guess we're going like for something like life binder early, or maybe it's just like get a little bit of magical lifesteal and then we work out towards the next item. I have to admit I'm not really like very well aware of what is the itemization on the Countess jungle. And here we have Nyzah working towards the 5 camp, maybe looking for like some aggression towards the duo lane, or maybe like just hovering around like the river buff, still working towards that level 6 that will allow the gank of the Countess to become like much stronger, because now you have this guaranteed CC with a lot of damage from like every single gank you go for. And so here we're going to go for river buff control. Import is on the other one. We're just gonna secure 1. We get the attack speed buff, and maybe looking for like Wangle, trying to contest that, but Wangle is just going to go back to base, so we're gonna work towards this red buff, probably 5 camp afterwards. And we do find like a pick into the off lane. Moro's getting ganked here, and with Nose like surviving with a slimmer of HP. I guess Import taking advantage. I actually did not use his ultimate, so he still has ultimate for himself for a future gank. Now we do get the level 6 on the Countess, but we don't have a mid laner to play mid lane. The dual lane is very well advanced, so, and the enemy team has the vision that we're around. So we're coming back to mid lane. TSC is back in lane. Wangle is a little bit advanced. We're behind him, so... And we're gonna go for the combo here. Try to delete him before he can take to the sky, but unfortunately, Wangle still managed to use the Meki Train, so we're gonna trade like the double ultimate for the Meki Train. And then we're gonna go like for the rotation, because Import was ganking dual lane, but no, we got mid lane plus jungle rotating for that situation. Manju dodging like the hook, Zane like not being very successful with his hook so far, and here we miss like most of the ability. We do get the rotation of Wangle, so that's just gonna be like the end of that engagement. And I guess like most people are just gonna reset here, since we don't really have any ultimate to follow up and try to get like some kills if everyone is around. So we're gonna get the reset from Nyzah, working to get like just like a little codex, so not the most impressive back. We get a little bit of aggression here. Moro's like, of course, dominating the Sevrog in the early levels. Keep like being present to this river buff here, and we actually like find a lot of damage onto that Wangle, but now we have to walk away because like the camera just like does more sustained damage than a Countess. TSC is kind of not also super healthy, but we get the rotation from Manchu. We do get the flash, but unfortunately for Import, the flash from the Countess actually follow up Import And then we got the hook. We tried to deal as much damage as we can to that Countess, despite like the nice hook by Zane, but full priority on the dual lane, and they end up finishing that pick. And we're gonna get the ultimate from the flash from Nyzah, completely surprising Wengul, and that's a double kill. And that maybe like can be translated into just resetting a little bit more farm. They don't really like want to force this Fangbooth yet, and so here we're gonna get like the rewind onto Julie Latina. Manq unfortunately missing the seismic assault. Julie Latina following Cabonani. Cabonani is like one auto attack away, but I think he's going to survive. Julie Latina like turning around, trying to deal some damage to Manq, but unfortunately without mana, there is not much she can do. Thank you Terpenheimer for the follow. Welcome, welcome. So in the meantime, we can see that Nyzah has finished his quest. So he's going to go reset to finish like the first quest and probably his first item. While in the meantime, the enemy team is taking advantage that after the double kill, it's true, you lose tempo on that timing. But if the enemy team stays like they did, we're going to lose tempo afterwards. And so despite getting the two kills, they do lose the Fangbooth in return. So this is where like sometimes after a situation, you need to reset immediately and don't push too much because people respawn and then suddenly you lose your tempo, and despite like getting the kills, you actually like lose the objective afterwards. So Tempest and Spirit of Amir has been finished. Nyzah keeping the farming going. We're gonna rotate towards the mid lane here, providing a little bit of information, maybe looking for some aggression onto Wengul. Oh, Wengul is actually stepping up here on the worst of the timing, and he's gonna get like ulti immediately, but the Make It Rain is enough to be able to cleanly disengage. But no more Make It Rain, and a lot of damage has been found. Thank you for the kind words, Terpenheimer. So here we get like a little bit of aggression on the other side of the map onto that Moros, but Moros managed to cleanly disengage. And so here we're coming back to actually like Moros is like baiting again, and he's gonna get picked here.
Enemy has fallen.
I guess like Moros overstaying his welcome a little bit, like he was out and then he come back in. So we keep the farming going. No, it's not that I wanted to watch. Here we do have the dual lane. So far doing well. We get the Mine Raider finish on Cabonani. On the side of Manq we get the Time Warp. Both quests are to be found after that reset. Here we're looking again at maybe like doing some aggression onto the mid lane, but Import was there first. So Nyzah a little bit late to the rotation. Import impacting the map faster than the Countess. To be fair, that's a camera while you're playing a Countess, so nothing too surprising here. Even though Countess jungle clear is pretty strong. Dual lane on the side of Team Indecisive, securing the tower. And here they get counter engage. Zane unfortunately not getting like the hook after the end of the skewer, so that stopped this aggression. We got Nyzah coming like into that fight, trying to get as much damage as they can onto Import. They do have to be careful though, because Wengul is now on the rotation, while TSC was being killed earlier, so he can't be there on that fight, and so at best it will be a 3v4, and you don't really want to force it under the tier 2 of the enemy team. But they're still gonna steal like the blue camp here. And so like that's a little bit of the jungle being removed from Import. Then we're gonna like rotate together with the Beleka plus the Countess to try to apply some pressure on that tier 1 tower. And you can see here, true Wangle rotates, so it stopped like the aggression of the enemy team towards this tier 2 tower. But because Decisive was respawning and pushing the mid lane, suddenly then you lose a tempo on defending this tier 1 tower, and Indecisive is taking it and securing like this tier 1 tower on the mid lane. That is actually like a very important tower, because now Wangle will be like very, very exposed for any future Nyzah gank. So we can see Nyzah working towards the, I think it's the life binder. Import is on the mini prime, but Nyzah is aware of it. He's gonna flash over, try to contest it as much as he can on import. He wasn't certain about the health, that's why like he go for it. But now we do get like Naz coming in, getting a lot of damage. Import is 1 HP. Unfortunately, like Nyzah dodging perfectly like the damage from the Sevrog with the Shadow Sleep, and gonna ended up like getting the double kill here with the rotation of the rest of the team, and they're gonna secure this mini prime for themselves. Nyzah able to actually like sustain himself for a very, very long time in that situation and secure the mini prime for himself right before the Fangbooth is respawning. So now we have a Countess with mini prime that will be able to go for like that Fangbooth, and that's a little bit scary, because it's also like an additional like 2 kills, so we're already at 5 stack out of 10 on the passive of this Countess. And like the magical lifesteal is gonna to stop like skyrocketing and making this Countess like very, very hard to play. Here we go, aggressive here onto Zane. Nyzah can just TP back, and this Rictor getting picked up here without the Rictor. Like unfortunately, like Zane not really like finding any success with his hooks. And if you play a Rictor and you don't hook people, well, unfortunately, you're not really like useful. So here we go for Julie Latina from Nyzah, trying to get a little bit of damage. Unfortunately, Cabodani left a little bit alone, but I think it was by his own positioning. And so here, like, we do find like some... we try to find like some more damage. I guess we get the ultimate on the Countess, and the idea is just like to push people away while also keep like people like occupied, because Moros is split pushing on the other side of the map, securing the tier 2 tower. So here, like the idea of Nyzah going in like that, it looks kind of like, for people who see like, but why is he going on in that situation? He can't kill anyone, he's just gonna get killed. But no, like the idea was dual. Like the first idea was that you stop people from backing, because Moros is split pushing, so you occupy and you secure a tier 2 tower, and also you keep that positioning and you force the enemy team back towards their red side, which means that then you create space for the Fangbooth if they go for the rotation against Moros. And here we can see that it almost like working, like the Fangbooth is not finished, people are getting low on HP, so that can actually like be a very bad fight for the side of Indecisive. Finally we do get a hook, but it's so unfortunate for the side of Team Import's backpack. Like we're gonna watch that again because it's like so close. But yeah, it's in the end we're gonna find like kill on most of the people. Rictor, it's 1 HP. Cabodani rewinding people, and in the end it's a 3-4-2. But yeah, like here the hook was good, but what happened here in that situation is we got the hook. So let's watch that again, because it's... there is some unfortunate moments sometimes. So we go in, we secure, like here we get hook, the Fangbooth get killed, and because the Fangbooth get killed, Nyzah level up, so Nyzah doesn't die, which means that Nyzah has time to use the Blade Siphon ultimate and regen half of his health. And now we have to expand the call also to get that kill, which means that now Julie Latina is kind of low. We do use the Epoch to stop like any amount of damage, but yeah. For once, Zane finally find a replash, and unfortunately for him, it's the level up. But still, we secure the Fangbooth for a 3-4-2 trade while also taking a tier 2 tower on the other side of the map, thanks to Moros on the Grux. And so overall, in terms of actual like farm, as you can see also, we're actually like 70 farm ahead, which is quite a lot. And most of it comes from like the jungle actually. So like Nyzah going like very heavy onto the farm. I guess we got the live binder being finished. So the mini-map sometimes bug Alistair. When you rewind back, like sometimes like all the turrets just move all around the place, and it's been in the game for quite some times now. And it makes it very, very hard to follow if, like, how is the structure, like, actually faring on each side. So, no objective available on the map. Our prime is going to spawn in like 1 minute and 15 seconds. We take the advantage of this alchemy moment to actually like just farm the jungle. Yeah, there is a lot that still like needs to be done on the replay system, Terpenheimer. Like even like not having access to the number of stack, the cooldown of abilities. We're missing like some graph about the overall like progression of the match. Timestamp, I feel like it's even like way far in the future. We also like just need also like a better way to be able to navigate and see the action. Maybe like some map cutoff, like this type of things. Like better positioning, like traveling also, like I wish I could travel while remaining on the same like plan, but I can't. Like there is a lot to be improved on that replay system.
Allied tower under attack.
But they made the replay system like quite fast to allow people to be able to do like the type of thing I'm doing. It wasn't like to be like having the full-fledged feature because like it's actually like a lot of work and they didn't really have the resources. And so like in a sense, I'm still happy that we have that because then we can review things, and for the competitive scene is actually like very important to have this type of tools. But yeah, like it's definitely like not at release product level. So here like both team walking around the map, not willing like to give up anything here. You can't really like force a no prime if the enemy team didn't lose like any people before. So we're just like walking around so far. Maybe like getting also like a little bit of control around like this Fangbooth that's going to respawn in 1 minute or so. While keeping the farm going, we're gonna get the level 13, so that means Blade Siphon maxed out. Here we're just gonna go back to base. Spend as much like gold as we can before the next team fight. We get the Dusk Staff, so we're working towards a Megacosm, I assume. And for now, here is just like finally the moment Countess is going to respawn. That's probably where we are going to see the next team fight. And here we're looking at maybe catching someone, dewarding, getting full vision control on that side. And the Countess respawn. You have to be careful because they have a 3-2 split, so they can get like collapse on both sides. That's what like Import's backpack team is looking to do. Nyzah is trying to create like a little bit of space. They're finally going to commit onto the Countess here after creating a little bit of space, and then they're fighting from out of the pit. Zane is going above here. We try to engage. We do get the Tesla Dome. The Countess is being secured. The Tesla Dome is too much damage. Like they try to engage into a Tesla Dome. 3 people get absolutely like obliterated here. Julie Latina, unfortunately, like is not gonna be killed. We do have only Wangle remaining. Manchu like trying to finish him by himself. Wangle flashing away with 1 HP, but that means that no, you lose 4-4-0, you didn't even contest the Countess. I guess like they all tried to dive, all 3 tank, into a composition that have a gadget. and that didn't go well because Gadget can just Tesla them and suddenly all the tanks are dead. And on top of that, like, just like the Tesla Dome with the Crocs keeping you inside the Tesla Dome is just too much to handle. So it's gonna be also like the R Prime being secured afterwards on the side of Team Indecisive. And now they're gonna be able to simply reset, spend all their gold, and now like start pushing to actually like win the game. So in terms of defense, on the side of Team like Imports Backpack, they don't really have very good clear because Howitzer is not very good at clearing waves. Drongo is okay-ish, but not insane either. It's not a Twin Blast with Mind Razor, for instance. So they don't really have any good tools to clear waves, and not having good tools to clear wave when you're facing the R Prime is like making it very, very complicated to be able to defend inhibitors. So that means that as a team, they need to force like an engagement and a team fight. And here we can see that maybe like we get like some aggression trying to go on to Moros. Like we have a lot of people, like all the tanks are fighting into the Grutos, but yeah, we're gonna have to watch that again. But like having your 3 tank fighting a Grux without any damage dealer doesn't look like very, very good. So we're 3 level ahead of like the highest, 7 level ahead of the other support, and here we're just like Ruxing. So like the idea to try to find a peak is actually like pretty good, but you can't go with 3 tank against like a Grux. It's not something you can do. Like you need 1 damage dealer on top, otherwise you're not gonna get the damage and you're just gonna get absolutely like obliterated. And that's exactly what happened. So yeah, Imports Backpack realized that they needed to force something, but they didn't like execute it with the right characters, and so they ended up just like losing the game on the spot from that play. But they needed to force something, like that's for sure. They needed to force something, but it wasn't like, you shouldn't force it that way. So in the end, a little like W for the side of Team Indecisive, and moving towards the grand final.